Hello, friends, and welcome into another edition of the Good Brothers here on Mercado Airwaves, the best damn pop culture show in the universe. We're your highwaymen between LA and New York City. I'm your host, Mike Mercado, and I am here alone as the good brother himself, Alex Mercado, is celebrating his birthday. So make sure you guys give him a happy birthday. But we have a bunch of news we need to get into. The MCU dropped a huge bomb. The Venom 2 trailer has dropped. We got to talk about all that and so much more. But before we do that, make sure you guys are liking us all over the socials. I'm on Twitter at Mike at Media, Instagram, Mike Mercado Media, and you can follow the show on Twitter at The Good Brothers, at Good Brothers Pod. Make sure you guys are following the Good Brother and wishing him a happy birthday. He's on Twitter at Mercado21Alex and Instagram, Mercado2121. You can follow the network on Twitter at Mercado Airwaves. Wherever you get your favorite podcast, like, rate, review, and share us, Mercado Airwaves. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/Mercado Airwaves Network. You can see our pretty faces there. We have a Patreon, patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Teespring, teespring.com/Mercado Airwaves if you want to rep some of our swag. And you guys know all the rest of the places at Mercado Airwaves. But let's get right into it, guys. I have the list right in front of me. The release date for Marvel's Studios is the MCU's Phase 4. You guys see it over here on the screen. We have it set up that they've shown us that they have the TV, the Disney Plus streaming service, and what's in the theater. So what we're going to start off with, I wanted to just give you guys an idea of what you could look forward to and kind of our thoughts on some of the stuff we've seen from the footage when they made this big bomb last week. We have going to theaters, Black Widow on July 9th. Obviously, that is something we've seen for a long time. The footage looks great. We'll see how that plays out. Something new that dropped, Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. That is coming out September 3rd, 2021. I really like the footage we saw. The choreography looks really good. The costumes look good. It's really cool to see that martial arts being brought back into the Marvel world. Obviously, from Daredevil, we're not really getting that into it. So be interested to see how that plays out in the MCU big screen. The Eternals, which will be coming out November 5th, 2021. That looked really interesting. It's going to be this family drama, this space opera. We haven't seen a lot of the effects and kind of the superhero-ness to it, but we did see that ensemble cast that looks amazing, so I'm super excited for the Eternals. Spider-Man No Way Home, obviously in association with Sony, will be coming out December 17th, 2021. So a strong slate of movies to finish off 2021 for the MCU. Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness for March 25th, 2022. That will kind of put everything to rest when it comes to WandaVision, when it comes to Spider-Man, and then Doctor Strange. Going to be interesting how they put all that together. And right after that, on May 6th, it will be Thor, Love and Thunder. That's May 6th, 2022. Be funny to see how they're going to put Natalie Portman in this, that Thor storyline kind of coming together, whether this is going to be Chris Hemsworth's last time as Thor himself. So be interested to see this. Something that really made me, hit me right in the feels. It's Black Panther, Wakanda Forever. That will be July 8th, 2022, 4th of July weekend. What a wonderful treat that will be next 4th of July season. It's going to be a lot of fun. The Marvels, November 11th, 2022. We really saw Kamala's costume, so I'm all in on that. That should be a lot of fun. Ant-Man and the Wasp and the Quantum Mania. That is February 17th, 2023. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will be May 5th, 2023. And they left off with that big special logo, Fantastic Four, no dates, nothing announced, but obviously it is real. It is for real. It's going to happen. And obviously everybody's talking about what we didn't see. We don't see Blade in this one. Production's going to be pushed back until next year, so that'll probably be around Phase 5. And I'm interested to see that one, but we got enough. We got enough coming over here with all this coming on in a big screen. I liked a lot of the footage that we saw. I highly suggest you guys see it on their YouTube or on their social medias. What I'm excited about when it comes to on the silver screen, obviously Black Widow, just to kind of see how they wrap up that entire story for her. Shang-Chi will be really interesting because I want to see how these fighting scenes, this choreography is going to play out. The Eternals, just a space opera and this crazy ensemble cast and a Academy Award-winning director behind this film. So much fun. Spider-Man, obviously, because it's Spider-Man. Doctor Strange, to see how this all ties together with these three properties. And I guess Black Panther, just to see the lineage and Ryan Coogler and what he puts together. And, this is a little bit of an older phase because they did graphic, but just to kind of get you guys excited about that. But we move on to the series. We've obviously had WandaVision and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but Loki will be coming out on June 9th, 2021, and it's going to be a Wednesday premiere. No longer it's going to be a Friday premieres for these movies and shows. I'm super excited for Loki. Loki looks like a lot of fun and going to be different again. It's what I really liked about WandaVision compared to Falcon and Winter Soldier and vice versa is how different and the feel for them. So I'm excited to see what they do with Loki. And what if that's going to be something that I think a lot of people are going to be sleeping on, that they're going to be highly surprised on. The What If series, the animated series, will be coming out summer of 2021. But some other stuff that was confirmed: Hawkeye, Miss Marvel, Moon Knight, She-Hulk, the Guardians of the Galaxy Holiday Special, should be fun, Secret Invasion, Ironheart, Armor Wars, and a Wakanda series that will be coming out. All those to be announced in 2022, though we will be getting Moon Knight, She-Hulk, and the Holiday Special. Hawkeye and Miss Marvel will round out 2021. So a lot of fun stuff there. I'm excited for all these. Obviously, we'll know more as we go along, but we're starting to see footage for the next phase of the MCU, not just on Disney Plus, but on the silver screen. And what's interesting about that is vaccinations have happened. Things are starting to open up. States, cities, movie theaters, are they going to be open up? Have they been able to survive? Will Marvel be the saving grace? Will it be the Infinity Stones that keep theaters alive and back up and running? All these news drops, we're all excited about that. We will be breaking them down as we get closer and can't wait to review Loki, which is next on the docket. But let us know all over the socials, which one are you most excited about? But we stay in the superhero genre. We move on a little bit to Sony's exclusive universe, because on the day of Monday, May 10th, 2021, Venom, Let There Be Carnage dropped a trailer, and we saw the Red Beast himself as a wonderful Woody Harrelson is playing this creepy psychopath. And, obviously, kind of how it's all being played together. What I like about this movie, obviously Andy Serkis is directing that, and that's something that not a lot of people have really put together, is like to see how he's going to be able to put this vision together. And on top of the fact, I want to see if they do any animation, how they do, how this is the guy that's been the forefront of it as Gollum and even King Kong. So my biggest takeaway from this is how they look. They look menacing. And I think that in itself is pretty cool. And most people, I think, are going to have fun for this movie. And I think that's just the basis for, I think, a lot of people are just to see this mayhem in this movie. Right? Like, I don't think anybody's looking for the same thing that they look in a Spider-Man movie. I think they just want to see Eddie Brock and Cletus Cassidy go back and forth. Venom and Carnage. They want to see the goo and just like the creepy messed upness. And I think Andy Serkis might be able to bring that as a director. The trailer did bring in this like moody atmosphere. And also, by the way, Woody not having that crazy goofy hair, that at least it looks normal, is kind of cool. I think that's at least a good change from the post-credit scene. But I think he looks great as a character. And you can see him down here. What I was really afraid of is that he would look like a Licker from the Resident Evil movies and video games, or that he looked kind of like Alien from the Alien Prometheus movies. But I think he kind of has a distinct, this is how Carnage looks. And I think as the movie goes on, they'll give him even more distinct features to make him look closer to his real adaptation. I want to see how Venom keeps kind of transforming. I also thought the humor in this trailer was a lot of fun. But obviously, it's just a trailer. We haven't seen the movie yet, but I'm really excited to see how Venom 2 plays out. I want to know from you guys, though, how excited are you for this movie as Venom, Let There Be Carnage finally releases a trailer, and we see something that's in the MCU, but not in the MCU. Andy Serkis actually mentioned that Venom doesn't realize Spider-Man exists, so we'll see how it all plays out, but I'm super excited. Let us know your thoughts. Moving on in this truncated version of the Good Brothers. Really fast, want to give you guys a heads up. I am playing Resident Evil Village. Really fast, a quick thought. I love it. Awesome. The tall lady, fantastic segment in the game. I will say this much, non-spoilers. I'm pretty good on if they ever do a Silent Hill PT thing, because Resident Evil does something pretty intense. If you know, you know. So far, so good. I'm a lot of hours into it, but we'll have my full review next week, and loving Resident Evil Village. But we wrap things up. I want to talk really fast. I want to make some WrestleMania Backlash predictions, and wrestling struggling. I know a lot of people are talking about blood and guts, and like it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, you don't. I get a kick out of pay-per-views. I get a kick out of it on Peacock. I love wrestling, and I love the goofiness of it. Week to week, it's hard, but in a grand, I love it. So we'll go ahead and just make some picks, and let's see how goofy things could get, especially since they've decided to completely cash in on the WrestleMania brand, and we have a WrestleMania Backlash. And we start off with Bobby Lashley with MVP versus Drew McIntyre versus Braun Strowman for the WWE Championship. Obviously, we're going to go Bobby Lashley. This is going to be his summer, his reign, until there are a lot of fans in the stadium and there's a tour going on. I think he's the champion moving forward. Bianca Belair will defend the title against Bayley in a singles match. That's the SmackDown's Women's Championship. Bianca Belair, Bayley a good first opponent to legitimize and start that run for Bianca. So we move on with that one as Bianca defends her title. Rhea Ripley defends her title against Asuka and Charlotte Flair. Obviously, Charlotte Flair is just the X factor in this. I don't hate Charlotte Flair. I think she's dope. You know what I'm saying? That's like hating John Cena. I don't have to love that they're always on the main or that their characters on this projector or whatever. Just in a whole, they're great. So I'm going to go with Rhea. It should be Rhea. And if it's not, I don't know anything about wrestling, but I'll go with Rhea Ripley in this one. The Dirty Dogs, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, take on Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio for the Tag Team Championships. I think this is when Dominic finally turns on Rey, and that story starts moving forward as we're good a Rey versus Dominic. Because at some point when Dominic is going to move on, he's going to be away from his father, right? And I think not only is it a good way for Rey to do the job for his son and help him in his trajectory, more than anything, that's a great starting point to let them do a program together and let him get his feet that way, because Dominic's worked a lot of matches. But to finally work a program like that much meat, be really interesting. So I'm going to go with the Dirty Dogs winning, and that is when Dominic turns on Rey. And finally, Roman Reigns takes on Cesaro for the Universal Championship. They've done a great job of making you believe Cesaro can win this. I'm going to go with Roman. I don't think Cesaro's the guy that's going to take the title off of Roman. I still think that there's a chance Edge might be that guy. I'm not 100% sure. Or maybe The Rock. I mean, there's a lot of people it can be. But Cesaro at WrestleMania Backlash. And if Roman's going to lose the title, it's going to be very fluky. If he's going to lose this week, very fluky. And he's going to get it back really fast. But I'm not 100% sure if they're going to waste that moment right now. And I don't think you wasted on Cesaro, but you wasted kind of in this scenario. So I'd be really interested to see. Maybe it's also because I'm rooting for a Big E to be that guy. But Cesaro in its own right, I think that would be great if he ever got that win. But I'm going to go with Roman Reigns winning and defending the Universal Championship. And with that, that's it, guys. That is this truncated edition of the Good Brothers. I wanted to just say hello, talk a little bit gossip, a little bit of the cheese that's going around in the pop culture world, and say hello, how much I love you. A lot of cool stuff in the MCU. We got a brand new Venom trailer, and there is a WWE pay-per-view. So I'm always glad to talk to you all about that. But with that, enjoy the rest of your day. Take care of yourself. Take care of each other. Make sure you're following us all over the socials. Like, rate, review, and share us wherever you get your favorite podcast. Subscribe to us on YouTube to see our pretty faces. For the Good Brother himself, Alex Mercado, I'm the Good Brother, Mike Mercado. We will see you next time here on the Good Brothers on the Mercado Airwaves Network.